Good morning, boomers. Marlon, Manuel, the rest of the crypto maniacs are here. Champagne Crypto, your favorite live streamer's favorite live streamer, the original crypto boomer, the original kapumper on the streams. Champagne Crypto, Satoshi's biggest cousin. Thank you for tuning in. Manuel's here, Marlon's here, the rest of the boomers are tuning in. We're preheating this crypto oven to what we're at, 39, 40? Seems like we've been testing resistance all weekend. I'll talk about Ether versus Bitcoin today. Ether is warming up against BTC. Technicals are reading strong buy, strong buy, strong buy. We'll look at those technicals and see whether we agree or not. We'll talk about that. I definitely want to get you guys updates, what you've been up to this weekend, how much you've sacrificed for Pulse, if any. What are your expectations? What other coins have you jumped in and out of? Have you bought into BTC? Have you got more ETH? Are you waiting? What's shaking and baking? Went to the Smoky Mountains last week. Definitely good to spend some gains, enjoying life. Champs, you should take up the fam up there. They would love it. Never been out there. It sounds good. What state is the Smoky Mountains? You went to Colorado, Nevada. Where's the Smokies? I'm thinking the Rocky Mountains. Lots of nature and amusement for the young ones. Yeah, let me know exactly where that is. Yo, good morning, says Austell. Good morning. Yeah, I've never been out there, so I have no idea. But yeah, I like nature. I like being out there. And, I was at a farm this weekend out in the country, and I was like, man, don't take me out here often because, I feel like getting me a farm and staying away from the big city. Tennessee, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So yeah, I'm thinking of the Rocky Mountains, not the Smoky Mountains, excuse me. So that's the Appalachian Mountains, if I'm not mistaken. Gatlinburg, never been up there. It sounds like something I'd be interested in though. So yeah, let me know about that. Well, thank you for letting me know about that. Nature at the best, indeed. Sacrifice 2% of the portfolio to Pulse. Will probably wish I did more. Yeah, that's kind of slim. I did more than 2% myself, but listen, it's better than zero. You know what I mean? So if it does good, at least you're in it. And, let's see. And if it does bad, then you only lost 2%. So, I did a little bit more. Definitely more than 2% and definitely more than 5%. Marlon did 10K to Pulse. There you go. 10K to Pulse for Marlon. Indeed. So let's see how that goes. Guys, if you have any info on a possible date and time for a Pulse snapshot, let me know because I am trying to figure out a strategy as to moving and bridging some of those coins to the main Ethernet so that I can make sure they're credited for that snapshot. I have a small fruit farm in Massachusetts. It's fun, but also blood, sweat, and tears. Not sure I'd recommend. Yeah, Massachusetts for fruits doesn't seem like, it don't seem like you're really growing, mangoes out there in Massachusetts. I don't see, I don't know what type of crops, but when I think of fruit, I'm thinking more of something of a tropical weather, or something a little bit more warmer. But I don't know what grows out there. I'm thinking more, in Massachusetts, a farm would have more, like potatoes and stuff. I'm not sure, what type of fruits you're booming out there. But hey, I have no idea. I'm not the farmer, so I could be wrong. Obviously, I didn't even know where the Smoky Mountains were. I thought they were in the Rocky Mountains, but apparently they're in the Appalachian over there in Tennessee. So don't take my word for it. Kaboom. But yeah, I was at a farm this weekend. They had goats, they had donkeys, everything but pigs. They had cows or whatnot. And funny enough, I'm walking around the property. I stumbled to the back. They got this greenhouse. I would say at least an acre or two. I take a peek in the greenhouse, and it seems like they have a lot of green in there. I was like, what's the legality with this? It was pretty much in the open. So I don't know if it was CBD or if it was THC, but it definitely looked like cannabis to me. So, I cracked a smile and I kept my mouth shut. I did not ask anybody about it. I didn't see anything. Okay? It was all a dream. Hashtag BIG. Champ is a yield farmer. Yeah, probably. What's your current employment? Yield farmer? I don't know. Yeah, we've been yield farming. Indeed. I'm going to email you some pictures from my cabin in the Smokies. There you go. Yeah, that sounds like fun, especially now that it's summertime. It's not that cold. Maybe, can do some more activities. And I'm sure they got the skiing or whatnot. But yeah, I'm not a mountaineer myself. I don't know much about it. Although I was born on a mountain. But other than that, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and check out the math, guys. Shout out to Marlon. Thanks for being here, Josh, and the rest of the boomers. Let's talk about these cryptos, see what's really hitting. Check out the prices. Really, what I want to focus on is ETH against BTC. Let me click on this ad real quick, and I'll show you my screen. Boom. So you got ETH against BTC at 0.06, okay? I mean, I'm keeping an eye on this because the price has turned into strong buy here on the technical indicators against BTC. And listen, ETH against BTC. I've been talking about this for a while, There's an argument to be made here that ETH ultimately has more value than Bitcoin in the long run. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not saying, that ETH is going to overtake Bitcoin or anything like that. But I'm seeing value in ETH. Not only because of the smart contracts, but also because of all the ERC20 tokens that exist on the chain, including wrapped Bitcoin. Okay, so, ETH is a game changer. I'm not going to lie. What's going to happen with ETH 2.0, I don't know. I like the proposal that Pulse is making as an alternative to ETH, and ultimately that may work. But again, I got my eyes on against Ether because I believe that they're here to stay. If not, some sort of a variation of that Ethereum virtual machine may be here to stay. But you can see that the lows are higher than the last low at 0.05. This thing seems to be going up. We broke through the resistance. The next resistance there is at basically at 0.07. And let's see if we can go all the way up to like 0.08. All-time highs for Ether, I believe, are, this year is 0.08. I think ultimately it's a tenth. And that's what I've been saying here for a while. I think that Ether is worth at least a tenth of a Bitcoin. 1 Ether for every 10 Bitcoin. What is the all-time high here? All-time high is, against the US dollar was 3 months ago, but I'm talking about all-time highs against Bitcoin. Where is the Bitcoin price? They changed this thing. We changed over here from USD to Bitcoin. And then we pop them in here and see what that Bitcoin high is. Bitcoin high is really all-time high 3 months ago. I didn't see that. Well, whatever. There it is. All-time high at 0.14. I don't remember that 3 months ago. Did we really hit 0.14? Okay, well that's what it's reading here. Let me check all-time high. All-time high. What is it? ATH crypto all-time highs. I don't know. There's a whole entire website that gives you the all-time highs, but it's saying here the all-time high is 0.14, but I don't remember hitting that. ETH coin index, is that it? I think so. Let's this thing load up. It's kind of going slow out here. Well, I'm not sure. Someone may verify that for me. I mean, I'm taking this as true. 0.14. Told you, champ, it was a bear trap. December Bitcoin 100K. Listen, I'm not saying so far as a bear trap, but I somewhat agree with you, Manuel. I am not convinced with the price of BTC right now. Breaking out above 42. I have not bought. Although the technical indicators for Bitcoin have gone quite positive. Let's go look at those technical indicators. BTC against USD is reading buy, okay? But again, I've said this before, and I'm going to stick to my game plan here. I'm not trying to time the bottom, and I'm not, I'm not trying to find the perfect, I think it's almost impossible to time it perfectly. But what I'm trying to do here, okay, real simple. I'm trying to stay above 42 for a few days. And I thought that we were going to break above it this weekend. So, this is the resistance here that I want to see us above. And we are, we're slightly above it. And that's why the technical indicators have changed. But if you could see, it looks like we're going to go back down. So if we could stay above this if I see the trend above this, and it seems like it's kind of doing that right now. Like, if it bounces off 38 and it keeps going back up, then, maybe I'll go ahead and buy. So like I said, whether I buy Bitcoin at 45 or at 42, it doesn't really matter to me. Even at 46, if it's going to go back up to all-time highs, it doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that I'm buying into the right trend, okay? This is just a retest, says Roger. So, yeah, I'm not entirely convinced. It seems still like we're, overall, if you zoom out year to date, we may still be in a downtrend. See, like, this has been a downtrend till about this weekend. It looks like we're breaking out. I'm going to see a little bit down, and the next leg up, if we break through 42, I think we're in the clear. We're getting really close to it. It's definitely a lot more positive than I expected, but I don't think we're in the clear yet. Yeah, at 150, it doesn't matter if you buy at 42 or 45. Right. So I'm just sitting here patiently waiting for the trend to change so that I can move the stable bags back into Bitcoin. Of course, I've been sitting on BTC. I got bags of BTC, obviously. But on my operating bag, the ones that I use like on the daily, I got another bag. That bag, I don't really got BTC in that bag. It's mainly stables for right now. Shout out to Buddha. Good morning, Buddha. This is just a retest. So let's see. Like I said, if we could break out of this trend, boom. But again, I think the talk here is ETH against BTC, because right now ETH against BTC is on the breakout. It's definitely on a breakout. Let's see if it can test this high. Ultimately, that's the... See, I don't see that 0.14 that CoinGecko was talking about there. So I don't know. But I'll tell you guys, I'm getting hyped for this Pulse chain. I'm not going to lie to you. I definitely haven't been crazy or paying much attention to Richard Hart and what he had to say. But since I've thrown a bag, okay, I'm paying more attention. I'm listening to the live streams. And I must say that I've been learning something from the streams. Like, and on every stream, he drops something I didn't know about. Okay. Like, for instance, I didn't know that Matic had admin keys. I don't know if that's true, but it certainly seems like it may be. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Champ B Pro has been good to me, up another 27%. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. Manuel says cake at 16. That's all right. Roger Ripple said Taxman is coming. It's nuts. Yeah, I was reading on CoinDesk about the crypto bill. I have it actually up right here. They're talking about the crypto bill, and right now it's a bill. It hasn't been voted on yet. But, you could read a little bit about the bill and what they're, what's going. It sound okay? I guess so. I've been talking and everybody has been responding. So 1, 2. Yeah, it's on. You could read a little bit more about the U.S. infrastructure bill. And again, I don't really follow the legalities, the taxes and all that. That's just not my forte. I'm going to be honest. I let other people do that. I'm not, I'm not even interested on that. To me, this is the way I look at it. The law is the law. The tax is the tax. It's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not an activist in that, and I don't speculate on that. So, I let it be, and I'm looking for the boomer coins, the new tech, and, we follow the rules. That's all. Marlon says a bunch of clowns. Yeah, like I said, I don't even follow that stuff. It sound okay? Yeah, it should be. Accumulation looking good on chain, saying so much Bitcoin out from exchange last week. Okay. Yeah, these BTC, the BTC right now, like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's keep it 1,000. After watching some of Richard Hart's streams, I somewhat agree about Bitcoin not being as valuable as someone like something as like Michael Saylor saying it. Now let me re-explain what I'm trying to let me explain what I'm trying to say here. Okay, his argument is that BTC has one function. There's a lot of selling pressure from the miners, which that also could or could not be good for the environment. Yada yada, etc. I get it. When you look at something like Ether, and that's why we're talking about ETH against BTC right now. ETH has a value proposition. It does a lot more things than BTC does. Okay, so ultimately, this is again, I'm BTC number one on my books right now, but I could see a situation where Bitcoin loses some market shares to other coins like Ether and some other smart contract platforms. Here's the thing. Can you see a situation where Bitcoin gains market share? Now I'm saying BTC is here to stay. It's the truth. It's the gold of crypto. We get it. I understand. But what's the market dominance right now? Market dominance is 44.5%. Do you see that number increasing or decreasing? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see that number decreasing. I see the price of Bitcoin going up in the future. I'm bullish, but I do also see that Bitcoin will be diluted by other coins. You better champ, because if it gets through, it's nasty, says Roger. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. It's been a threat that's always been looming in the crypto industry. The threat of regulation. It's always been a gray area. So, and I'm sure you know that. Roger's been in the game for a while. Josh says, I suppose there's room for regulation just to discourage outright scams. Let's keep it 100%. Regulation will do absolutely nothing to stop scams. Yeah, who do you want Big Daddy putting his hands into it? I don't see how getting the government involved in anything is really going to help. I'm going to be honest with you. So, if you think that, Josh, maybe you should invest in, some sort of government-backed FDIC insurance. I don't know. But this is crypto. And, the reason why crypto worked from the beginning was because it wasn't regulated, because it was an alternative to the financial system. That's why it worked from the beginning. So, to try to make it more like the banks, that's the reason it came to, that's the reason it boomed to begin with, because it wasn't like the banks. So, traditional finance heavily regulated, JP Morgan, Deutsche, and the rest of them manipulate market and scam every day. Exactly. So, I think what Josh wants, okay, and this is something in my opinion, he wants an atmosphere where bigger money will be comfortable getting into it, okay? And that sometimes equals regulation that may be favorable to them. You know what I mean? So that's all that people, I think when people talk regulation, is like, oh, is my team going to be looking over the bag? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to benefit me? You know what I mean? And in some cases, big regulations end up benefiting big government and big institutions. And then the little guy gets screwed. You know what I mean? So, at this rate, Big Daddy Biden will be saying turn left and cough. Yeah, at this rate, guys, if you haven't decided to think on your own, I think you've already been lost, guys. I mean, look what's going on. People walking around, looking like surgeons. I mean, come on. Should the government go after scammers? I think they will probably mess up regulations. No, I'm not going to be a bank. How about, everybody, should the government go after scammers? The government should be enforcing contracts. That's what they should be doing. The government should be enforcing contracts between people. That's what they should be doing. That's, if anything, really, I don't even know what else. Really, if two people make a contract and it's not, there should be some, maybe somewhere to enforce the contracts between two people. But those contracts are up to the people. Now, I don't even know if I'm completely subscribed to that idea, but in my train of thought right now, it makes sense. Shout out to Engine. He told me about your channel. I don't know about Engine, but shout out to him. And ETH is perfect for enforcing contracts and shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The code is the law. You want something clear, then it's on the blockchain. And if it's not defined on the code, then maybe you shouldn't be dealing with it, Roger says it's wild, a bunch of sheep. Yeah, it is. And it could be disheartening at some points, because you're like, damn, this is society's really that far gone. And I guess when you're younger, you believe that as you get older, you'll figure out that, the people, that there's adults that know what's really going on. And, but at the end of the day, guys, we're walking the yellow brick road to the Emerald City. And when we're getting to the Emerald City, we look behind the curtain, and it may be a little guy with a little hat on, for all we know. And I'm starting to suspect, guys, that you're gonna, where if we even do get to the Emerald City, you look behind the curtain, there's probably there's probably no one there anymore. Like the controls have been abandoned. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, guys. I try not to be negative. I'm trying to focus on the booms, not the dooms, because I'll tell you this much: if the majority of the population is sheep, and you're not, then you're probably in an advantage too. You know, like if you're the one wolf among sheep, then you're probably in the advantage. You know, you're the one that's in the advantage. You know, like so. Let's not get so lonely being the wolf among sheep here. If you want to consider that, I'm looking to start working from home, contract work. We'll see what I can do, learn before I'm well enough to drive again. Says Rafterman. Well, I was thinking about this and I was talking to someone offline. Go with what you know. You know what I mean? You've been knowing a lot about crypto lately. You know, go with what you know. It's like, you know, I've been talking to people offline and thinking, oh, I want to invest in some brick and mortar businesses and this and that. People have been talking about like, like a food truck or a cafeteria and this and that. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, barbecue and like all these ideas that you get, right? But at the end of the day, you know, I got to catch myself like, I've never worked in a kitchen. I'm not a freaking cook. You know, why would I be investing in something I don't know? And then also something that Richard said yesterday, what really tapped into my mind, like someone asked him about buying property. And yeah, you know, buying property is always something that most of us have wanted or want to do or want to acquire, you know, getting real estate and that. But in this type of climate, you got to ask yourself, is like, you know, why would you go into real estate when the potential upside with crypto is hundreds of times more? You know what I mean? So I have no idea. Josh says securities are contracts. That's why I like Richard Hart not promising any work, just saying there's needs to be regulation for some things, but decentralized finance. Okay, Josh, you know, who do you want to put in charge? That's the thing with people. It needs to be regulation. You're assuming that someone's going to be in charge and be benevolent. That's the I think the main error with so many people. Like, we need regulation. We need someone to step. Like, who? Okay, if it's not you, then who? You want to give the keys to someone else? It's like, yeah, you think some magical person's going to come in. Like, what, the government is magically going to take care of everybody? Look at the job they've been doing with the Rona. Look at the jobs they've been doing with everything. I don't think they do that much of a good job. So why would we think that they would do a good job? I have no, like, you know. Buddha says, I was a union electrician for 15 years, couldn't handle my money going to endorse China, Biden, and Kabbalah. Now I'm living no boss life, crypto farming, feels free AF. As fuck. Yeah. There you go. Regulators regulate for the current admin. Listen, I know the intent. The intent is like, you know, if we can have some rules that everybody can follow and everybody can play by the rules, then we could be kumbaya. And maybe the government should enforce the rules. But guys, just look at you want Biden handling it? You want Biden and friends taking care of it for you? Or you want, what, Donnie and friends too? For those that are on the other side? Guys, I don't want Donnie. I don't want Joey. I don't want none of these people touching my bags. Good morning, champ. Late but still here. Shout out to Cryptmatic. Good morning, Passive. I see you. Let's go, Crypto Warriors. Always New says, Champ, crypto still early. So much thing will happen on the future. Yeah, it is still early. We have no idea what's going to happen. But, you know, I'm bullish still on the main coins. I don't think that BTC or Ether are going anywhere. And in fact, you know, I think there's going to be more coins that boom. Blockchains can enforce rules. Yeah, to a certain exchange. Yeah, absolutely. That is true. Rafterman says, no one but your wife. I don't know what you meant by that, but, you know, she's definitely on the top of our list, including our family. So I don't know what you meant by that, but I'll take it as positive. Biden doesn't even know where he is. Exactly. It's like, you know, I see the intent of like, yeah, we need some regulation. We need some rules, you know, but, you know, who's going to be enforcing the rules? Like, you know, the fact that you think, oh, we need rules, but like, Who's going to enforce them? That's the thing with these socialists and these people that support communism is like, we need more equity. We need this. We need that. We need to distribute the wealth. So who's going to take care of it? Who's going to be in charge? You know what I'm saying? Like, what we need to do is be in charge of our own bag, worry about our own self, and regulate our own activity. If everybody's self-regulated, then the need for regulation outside of self would decrease. Rafterman says, handling your bags, bad joke. No, yeah, she's not handling my, yeah, I know what you meant by that, but my literal bags, nah. Your wife is the one controlling and touching your bags. I don't know about that. It's funny how, the chat and things can be misconstrued as good and bad jokes. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, no, I'm not in for no regulating. The lines are getting blurry, but regulation should never stop the free market. Only saying there should be both options. Yeah, but that sounds cute. That sounds kumbaya, but that's not the reality. Like, it's either, it's regulated or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds kumbaya, Josh. I mean, and I'm sure your intent is great. Like, we need a better and safer environment. Okay, that's great. We need less people to die. We need more people to be healthy. These are great. We need more people earning money. These are all kumbaya things. But how do you make it work? At the end of the day, expecting a third party, a government authority to make that happen for you or for someone else is naive. At the end of the day, people are responsible for their own actions. Okay? In my opinion, I guess, you're responsible for your own actions, guys. You get what you put in. There should be two streets, one regulated, one unregulated, and education more. But there is, though, Josh. There already is. It's called, what is it called? I'm thinking of the investment when you're accredited investors. So you have the route. There is two streets. You can become an accredited investor and invest in Wall Street, nice and comfy and regulated, or you can go into the Wild West and go that route. In the crypto Wild West, that's not regulated. It already exists. But here's the problem. People start, they want to put everything in one pot together. So, no. Does this guy lives in his mom's basement? Are you crazy? Yeah, he sounds a little bit immature. But I give him I give him a pass because I know the intent. The intent of most of these youngsters that are supporting socialism and communism and regulation and that is they have a good intent. They understand that the world's fractured, okay, and they feel that man is the solution, or not even man himself. An institution that regulated by man is the solution. When they haven't figured out that man is fallen by definition, and the only true saving of man is the Lord Himself. I'm not putting any of my trust in another man to save me. Okay, like I leave that to the Lord, or my own self. That the things that the Lord gave me: my eyes, my ears, my speech, my voice. My own reason. Use what the Lord gave you so that you could take care of yourself. The solution's better devs building solid contracts. Right. If you use what the Lord gave you, maybe you can make a better contract for yourself and help others. You know what I mean? Like, being able to write better code, like that talent comes from the Lord Himself. Like there's some talented guys out there. I can't write that type of code. If there is 90% of walkers, nothing will happen with us. If not, we are in the oven. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, okay. Josh, then those that don't invest get your tax and regulated gains through liberal causes. That's true. That's true. The problem is that guys like this are brainwashed. He needs to grow up. I'm not going to attack him personally. You know what I mean? Like, I think he I think we're making a lot of wild assumptions because, we're not talking in a room as men and we're seeing just, people typing. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, look, there's some people be like, look, champ, if there's a little bit more regulation, maybe we can get more bags. And I understand the position, on the surface. But when you start really figuring out and you start sniffing into like getting any sort of regulation involved is not a good idea. Okay. Imagine if there was regulation at the beginning of Bitcoin, it probably would have never, ever been able to grow to where it's at now. Sometimes people have to take responsibility for their actions. I know. And that's the thing with a lot of these youngsters and a lot of these people that, they want to put the responsibility in someone else because ultimately they don't want to be responsible for their own actions. So they want regulation so that someone else could go ahead and enforce responsibility. You know what I mean? Guys, let's just be responsible for ourselves. Let's do it on our own. Do it yourself. DIY. Independence. I mean, it's what this country's about, right? Freedom and liberty, right? So come on, let's be free. Let's live a life of liberty. Let's do it on our own. But, hopefully we positively influenced Josh T. If not, it's all respect. I mean, I want him to be able to comment, and I don't want to attack him personally because I'm making assumptions of, what he believes based on what he said. But, that's the truth of the matter. Everybody makes assumptions. But, I want to be respectful. That's all. Let's check out the winners and the losers here. ETH against BTC, what do I say about it? I think it's on the up and up, guys. And I definitely going to have some Ether in my wallet for that Pulse Chain snapshot. Someone give me a date and time for this Pulse Chain snapshot. I don't want the government to regulate me. I'm an investor, not a business partner. If you don't want the government to regulate you, then perhaps maybe you shouldn't suggest for them to regulate anyone. You just called for regulation. And then on the next sentence, you say, I don't want them to regulate me. That's the thing. It's like, I want social equity for everyone, but don't tax me. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you keep screaming Biden, social equity and everybody being treated fairly. Well, that's going to cost you. Let the government regulate it and they're going to insert a rug code in the contract. Exactly. We need more cowboys, not soy boys. That's true. Be sure to pay your taxes. Don't do a Willie Nelson. Yeah, look, when it comes to that whole tax stuff, I mean, at this rate, if you're making bags and you're moving and there's cash flow, I would say, get yourself an attorney because the more you earn, you're going to be a target. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So make sure you got good protection, and follow the law. Get the law on your side. That's all I got to say. But I'll agree with Josh's latest comment. I don't want the government to regulate me either. So, since we agree with that, our next step should be, they shouldn't regulate anyone else either. All right, guys. We've been on for 34 minutes. Always a pleasure. Just want to touch base with you guys. ETH against BTC right now is favorable. Looks like ETH is on the run up. But, have I bought more? Not really. I'm going to be honest. I'm waiting for this trend to change with BTC. Always wear a raincoat. There you go. On that note, guys, stay strong. Shout out to Rafterman, Austell, Roger Ripple, and the rest of the boomers. I'm not a socialist, guys. I'm just not an anarchist. I'm not an anarchist either, guys. I think that ultimately there needs to be some rules somewhere, because anarchy's another kumbaya thing too. Anarchy is pretty kumbaya. It's like you're assuming that no one's going to do bad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty. But yeah, shout out to Josh. Nice conversation, Josh. I'm glad you were in the box today. Whether we agree or not, it's always good discourse. Shout out to Lex. He says, hey, champ, long time. In my opinion, right now, the Fed is trying to regulate stables because they plan to launch the CBDC with the MIT tech in order to get a better position regulating cryptos. I agree, Lex. Yeah, I think ultimately they are going to pull out the Fed coin. It could be Algorand or not, or it could be some of those people that are working on the Algorand. I know a lot of those people are on MIT. I have no idea what is going to happen, but I have a hunch that ultimately they're going to pull out their own bag that they regulate and they make the rules for. So, I'm not surprised at all. Look around, the government's trying to tell us when we can go outside now. I know, exactly. So for anybody calling for regulation, it's like, come on, at this point, they're going to tell you when to eat, what to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when to go outside. I mean, this is slippery. They want it all. They literally want to tell you what to eat. That's the next one. They're going to tell you to wear the mask, when to breathe, when to go out, and the next one is like, oh, you're eating meat that's going to cause global warming, and you're damaging the environment, and you need to eat this now. I'm going to tell you something, guys. In a country like Cuba, communist country, okay, that they're fighting right now. There, if you haven't tuned into the news or whatnot, okay, there's conflicting information, but I'll tell you the facts of the matter here. Okay, in a country like Cuba, you can't just slay a cow. You'll get taxed. You can't just be buying steaks. You can't get the good red meat out there. You're just going to eat chicken and maybe some pig. And you're not going to get no white meat, I'll tell you that. Okay, so you're not going to eat the good cuts. I'll tell you, as a authoritative regime tightens their grip, even the things you eat will be stripped from your diet. You won't even be able to eat a steak. Okay? Just to let you guys know where it's going. So this whole... in my opinion, this whole veganism push is predictive programming for ultimately what they want to do is regulate your eating habits. And if they can, they'll keep you malnourished so that you'll be more attached to what, you'll be in need of more help. I'm all about personal responsibility, but corporations invest as business partners, and that's part of capitalism. And they need enforcement. That sounds kumbaya. That does, but I don't know what the details of that enforcement. Look up The Economist magazine. Yeah, we know that. The Phoenix on the cover. Manual says, dictatorship, freedom for Cuba. I'm telling you guys, and then they'll tell you, oh, it's because of the U.S. embargo. It's because of the embargo, guys. You know what that's admitting? If you blame the situation in Cuba on the U.S. embargo, you're basically agreeing that what you need is capitalism. It's saying, oh, because we don't deal with the U.S. and since we're not allowed to do business with the U.S., that's why we're not working. So, because you're not doing business, that's why things aren't working out for you. Oh, okay. So you're not engaged in capitalism, and that's why things are not working out for you. So, I mean, come on, guys. It's saying, oh, since we're not allowed to engage in capitalism, we're not doing good. And let's not act like Cuba can't trade with China that has a bunch of goods and a bunch of things. And they can't trade with Europe. I mean, they could trade with everybody else. So, come on, guys. Look, there's just people that they're always going to blame the U.S. for everything. Ultimately, there's people that their interest is not on making sure there's equity. It's not making sure that everything is better. It's just on destroying the ideals of this country. It's about destroying the system. You know what I mean? That's what happened. Look at BLM. And BLM's all for Black Lives Matter in the U.S., but it's what happened with the Black Lives in Cuba. BLM took the side of Cuba, saying, "Oh, the Cuban government has the right to express their sovereignty." What happened to the people that are being beat down? What happened to the Black lives in Cuba? Do they not matter? So I don't want to get political here. We already did, but that's what it is, guys. Here in Argentina, we're taking conscious that Che Guevara was a criminal. Here in Argentina, we're taking conscious that so that only some of us. Yeah, no, I know there's a bunch of commies over there in Argentina as well. You got, Che Guevara supporters. And here in the U.S., I mean, look, there's a lot of rappers. There's a lot of people that, they just sport his T-shirt like he's some sort of there's a lot of people that think he's a helpful revolutionary. But hey, do the research and see how that worked out for everybody. And just because I say that, you know, the revolution wasn't good doesn't mean that I'm on the side of the Yankees either, okay? Because the Yankees got their own problems. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like, you know, some people are so stuck in that binary train of thought. It's like if you criticize Che and the revolution, then you must be for capitalism. No. That's not the case, guys. I think that at the end of the day, the institutions getting all up in our business is the problem, whether it be the Yankees or the revolutionaries. Champ, you love your channel. There's so much of this info. Pure gratitude. Exactly. Shout out to you, Manuel. Pure gratitude indeed. Make sure you check out that track, guys. Shottie, Shottie. Pure gratitude. It's on Spotify and the rest of them. I'm showing him some love, and you know he shouts out Bitcoin and Ether, so you know I like that. All right, guys. I'm turned up. I think we hit up most of the beats. How about we end the stream with that track? I never really end the streams with songs, so let's play that song, and we'll call it a wrap. Thank you, Manuel, Mola, the rest of the boomers. ADD says great show. Yeah, I'll give it a few more seconds. If there's any more comments and questions, I'll address them. But shout out to Josh T. You know, he's made some comments that I don't entirely agree with regulation or not, but you know, his opinion and his input is welcome. Okay, you know, if you come with respect and you say what you want to say, it's cool. You know, if you're not, I don't think he was trolling. You know, if everything's done with respect, respectfully, we don't have to agree with everything out here, guys. But we can, you know, we could argue in a respectful manner. The word's not argue, debate is the better word. Argue has some sort of connotation with anger in my head. I think, you know, debate is a better word. ADD says, great show. Manuel says, exactly. Yeah, I'll take a few more comments and questions. If not, guys, let's go ahead and end with that track. Pure Gratitude by Shottie. And guys, have an excellent day. Make sure you're hitting the gym. You know I did. Hit that like button, indeed. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow, guys. Check out this track. It's called Pure Gratitude. The artist is Shottie. He's an independent rapper that I am supporting. So let me play his track out here, guys. Everybody have a blessed day. Kaboom.
95 Labs.
I just got the best head of my fucking life. I just hit some new 11s on that sneakers app. I just read that Bitcoin went up in price, and Sauce King just blessed me with a diesel pack. I just got the best head of my fucking life. I just got my favorite rapper to do a feature.
Yup.
And even if Miami life ain't nothing nice, my cafecito got the perfect espumita. Glass half full, that's that food. I'ma need an advance, you can sell me, cash app too. Portfolio looking healthy, my Coinbase popping. I cut out the red meat, but I don't fuck with no soy-based products. My podcast hit 100 episodes. My brother Cap just had a baby, and me, I got a little baddie in Haiti, marinating. Miami lately feel like it's 2005. The scene been reinvigorated, and you can feel it countywide. Yeah. My plug got the best treat from Brickle to Bentry. My Benz lease, but I live in your head rent free. My grandma chillin' like she's still in her prime. Taught me to cherish every minute of this limited time that we're given. My dog Charlie was half blind when I first brought him home, and now we could probably spot a bone faster than Indiana Jones. You gotta comb through the weeds so you can spot the rose, and I'ma smell every flower while I still got a nose. Cause I just got the best head of my fucking life. And I just hit some ones on that sneakers app. I just heard Ethereum went up in price.
ETH.
And Sauce King just blessed me with that OG pack. Yeah, I just got the best head of my fucking life. I just got a couple stamps on my visa. And even if Miami life ain't nothing nice, my cafecito got the perfect espumita. Yeah, it's pure gratitude.
Pure gratitude.
Pure gratitude. Yeah, it's pure gratitude. You gotta smell every flower that life's handed you. That's right, it's pure gratitude. What I'm feeling? Pure gratitude. What's that? It's pure gratitude. You can't change the world, but you can change your attitude, bro.
Yeah. Shotty.
Change the world,
Chad.
change your attitude.
My fit.
Сядь со мною рядом, рассказать мне надо.
Kaboom, respect. Josh T says he may be kumbaya. Maybe. Just want to make sure that we're all being self-aware. Shout out to ADD. He says hit the like button. Shout out to Manuel, the rest of the boomers out there in the chat. Make sure you check out that track. Artist is called Shottie, Shottie. The name of the track is Pure Gratitude. On that note, guys, have an excellent day. Stay blessed, stay strong, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest.